UFC Fight Night Hermansson versus Strickland full card betting results, as well as just the regular results. Now, as we already know, we have two future UFC champions, in my opinion. Jailton Almeida from Brazil, 15 wins and 2 losses, as well as Shavkat Rakhmonov, 15-0. Those are the two future UFC champions that I saw from the card. Sean Strickland, maybe a future title challenger. Brian Battle, future ranked opponent. Hakeem Dawodu, future ranked opponent. But those two, Jailton as well as Shavkat, those guys will definitely be champions, or at least be in the top 5 of the UFC division that they currently reside at light heavyweight or in the welterweight division. The first fight was very weird as Malcolm Gordon won. A weird injury to Dennis Bonder's arm, kind of like popped out his shoulder. It was a very weird, gruesome injury that happened there, and Gordon did end up winning. Philip Rowe getting dominated in the first round with that wrestling, and Jason Witt just not really covering his chin a little bit there, and Philip Rowe landing and getting that knockout. Almeida taking Danilo down with ease and TKOing him in full amount. Alexis Davis wrestling to a decision, getting caught in a couple of arm bars, triangles, and things like that, but surviving and winning by a decision. Sheedy going out there 16 seconds in. Oh my god, and knocking out Marc-Andre Barrios, who has never been knocked out. Absolutely amazing win. Hakeem Dawodu getting a mainly striking 30-27 decision. John Castaneda, pretty even fight in the first and second round, comes into the third round, knocks down Miles Johnson, submits him with an arm triangle. Very close, back and forth striking battle. Very good fight there, with Rosa coming on top with a decision. Brian Battle out-voluming Tresean Gore, winning the first round as well as the third round to a decision. Allen submitting Alvey after a knockdown. Shavkat spinning a hook kick and a little bit of ground pound to the TKO. Nick wrestling to the decision, and Sean Strickland striking it to the decision. Now, those are the results for UFC Fight Night Hermansson versus Strickland. Now, let's talk betting results. We got the first one here, 2.6 units on Philip Rowe at -129. We did end up making a pretty good profit there of 2.02 units. That was the first bet of the card. We did also have Dennis Bonder in our parlay here. We had 3 units on Jailton Almeida, -410, who he did win the fight. Dennis Bonder, who lost. Shavkat Rakhmonov, who won. So if it wasn't for Dennis Bonder getting the injury, maybe we would have actually won that fight. But of course, he did get injured, so we did not get that one. We also had 1.5 on Jailton Dennis, as well as Shavkat and Julian Rosa. Again, Dennis Bonder's injury there kind of lost us those parlays. So those parlays there, we did lose a total of 4.5 units because of the injury on Dennis Bonder. But we did kind of do the similar parlay down here with, let's see if I can find it. We had Jailton Almeida, Shavkat Rakhmonov, and Strickland versus Hermansson starts round 3, as well as the same one with Julian Rosa. So we kind of just swapped out Dennis Bonder with the Strickland fight starting round 3, and that's kind of what we did since Dennis Bonder got injured in that first round against Malcolm Gordon. Now, after those devastating parlay losses right at the beginning, we came back with a good win. We had 4.2 units. I was very, very confident on Jailton Almeida to win, so I'm like, I'm going to pop in a lot of money on this guy. We only gained 1 unit, but it was a very confident pick, and he dominated to get that TKO win. We also had a quarter unit on Jailton by TKO. Gained almost a unit there, but we did lose a little bit on him winning in the second round, and almost got there, but he got the full mount and got that TKO in the very first round. Then we put a quarter unit on Alexis Davis inside the distance, you know, just a little sprinkle there. I thought maybe Alexis could ground a pound her way to a finish. It's very possible, but we did lose on that sprinkle there as well. We lost a lot here. I mean, Marc-Andre Barrios, I did think he was going to win the fight because he just throws way more volume. He's got a lot more cardio. I thought he was just cardio his way out and volume his way out to a decision, but we did not see any of that as he got knocked out in literally 16 seconds of the very first round. Crazy, crazy knockout there. So we did lose a total of 4.7 units on that bet total, and Marc-Andre Marc-Andre Barriault. That was one of our biggest losses of the night. But right after that Marc-Andre Barriault loss, we came back with some really solid wins. We had 3.25 units on Hakeem Dawodu, minus 154, with Strickland Hermansson starts round 2 in a parlay at minus 108, and we got 3 units out of that one. We also had 1 unit on Hakeem Dawodu. I don't know why it says Dawson is Dawodu. Dawodu. I'm not spelling anything right here. And we had that one at plus 125, and we did gain 1.25 units. Then for our first underdog bet of the night, we had half a unit on John Castaneda at plus 200 on Bet Online. We won 1 unit on that one. Out of all of the fights here, the ones that I was like very iffy on for underdogs were Jason Witt, Chidi Njokuani, John Castaneda, of course, and then Nick Maximov. Those are the underdogs I was like very hesitant on going towards. Nick Maximov barely edges it out. Chidi Njokuani goes out there. It was a pretty 50-50 fight. Jason Witt wins the first round, then gets knocked out. And then our other one was, of course, John Castaneda, the underdog that we did put a little bit of money on. So we gained a little bit of money there as well. But then the Tresean Gore fight, barely, very close. Just a little bit more volume on Tresean Gore's fight, and we could have gone 10 units profit on the night, but we did not. Sadly, we had the 3 units on Tresean Gore, minus 150 to win 2 units, but we did lose. We also had 1.05 on him winning on the fight going over 2.5 rounds. That one did hit. Also had 1 unit on the fight going to a decision. Both of those hit, so you made a little bit of what we lost back, but we also had 1 unit on Tresean Gore decision. Again, very close to hitting. It was a very close fight. Could have gone either way. Just a little bit more volume in that third round. It could have won the fight for Tresean, but he did lose that one. After that one, we had the Allen versus Alvey fight. I had Allen by decision. That was my prediction. I thought maybe since it was the higher weight class, Allen is coming in on short notice. Maybe Alvey can kind of fend off those big strikes and survive and win the fight by decision there. But of course, we saw Allen drop him in the first round, drop him in the second round, and get that submission. We also had a little bit of a sprinkle on Alvey by knockout, just because you never know. He's a lot bigger. It is short notice, so you never know with that one. But after that one, we did have 6 units on Shavkat Rakhmonov, minus 255 right there on FanDuel. Won 2.35 units on that one, but we did lose a little bit on the 2 things that he did not win the fight by. We had a decision prop with 1 unit and a submission prop with 1 unit, plus 420 and plus 375. We also had Shavkat in our parlays right there. This is the biggest winner of the night, were these 2 parlays. We had 3 units on Jailton Almeida, who went out there, dominated, and got the first round TKO. Shavkat Rakhmonov, who went out there, got the first round TKO. And we had Strickland versus Hermansson, starts round 3. So all I had to do was finish the first round to finish the second round, and we won that one. So we gained 4.14 units on that bet. Also at Almeida, Shavkat, Strickland starts round 3, as well as Julian Erosa minus 330 for parlay odds of plus 210, and we ended up profiting on that one 4.2 units. So another good parlay win. Those 2 parlays were some really big wins of the night. We had 3/4 of a unit on Pony Hill Soriano by a decision prop at plus 275, mainly for the value. It was a very close fight. It was a split decision, but overall, Maximum did enough in the third round to out-wrestle and win the fight by a decision, so we did lose that one. But we kind of made a little bit of that one back. We had 1 unit on Soriano Maximum over 1.5, which was minus 160, gaining us almost our 3/4 of a unit that we lost right there. Then the over and unders on the Strickland versus Hermansson fight. I do this on a lot of the main events. I do a lot of the overs on these main events, and it did turn out to be a good decision yet again. 5.5 units on Hermansson Strickland starts round 2. 2.4 units on Hermansson Strickland starts round 3. 1.05 units on Strickland Hermansson over 4.5 rounds, and we won on all 3 of those, gaining 1 unit for every single one. Then we had a little sprinkle there for Jack Hermansson. Obviously, he got absolutely mauled and absolutely destroyed. It was a split decision somehow, but, you know, we did lose that one. But overall, it was a good night. We did profit 6.65 units, mainly because of the overs on the Strickland Hermansson fight, as well as our 2 parlays with Almeida, Shavkat, Strickland Hermansson starts round 3, and Julian Erosa. Some notable mentions: our huge bet of 6 units on Shavkat Rakhmonov, our decision bet, that Gore battle goes to a decision, and over 2.5 did hit. Arjan Castaneda underdog bet, Hakeem Dawodu decision, Hakeem Dawodu, and Hermansson Strickland goes past round 2, as well as our Philip Rowe bet. So we had a lot of good bets in here. The notable bad bets were, of course, the Marc-Andre Barriault bet there. Denny's Bonder in my parlays really screwed me at the beginning of the card, and then Tresean Gore. It was a very close fight. We did lose that one as well. So my biggest regrets of the card betting wise is, of course, putting that money on Jack Hermansson. I mean, looking back, I just kind of did it because I thought the odds were kind of getting a little bit out there. The odds starting off for Hermansson were at plus 150, so as soon as I saw it go to plus 212, I decided to do a little bit of a sprinkle. I didn't think Hermansson was going to win, but I thought it'd be worth a little bit of a sprinkle. Obviously, looking back, of course, wasn't the best bet, so that one, I'm a little regretful on that bet, of course. I'm regretful. Definitely on my Shavkat decision and submission props. The Marc-Andres, and then, of course, Bonder in my parlays. Those are the biggest losers of the night. But overall, it was a profitable night. We did very, very good on the card. In terms of how many bets I got right and how many bets I got wrong, let's just check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bets right and 15 bets wrong. Very, very interesting. So, yeah, we went 15 for 15 on bets, but it's not how many you get right. It's not how many you get wrong. It's what you get from all those ones that you are getting right. And we did gain 6.65 units, which for me is about 325, a little bit more than that, like 330 or 335 dollars that I ended up profiting on the card. We are up 9.24 units on the entire year of 2022. So it's been a good year so far. Really good card. Strickland versus Hermansson. We do have UFC 271 Adesanya versus Whitaker coming up. We got predictions coming out for that card right there as well. Those ones are going to be coming out in tomorrow's live stream. So make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you get ready for these predictions tomorrow afternoon. And if you want to see all of the bets that I will be making for UFC 271, for UFC 272, and for the rest of the entire month, you can see all of my bets. Just click the link in the description or click the profile picture at the end of any one of my videos on the left hand side. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.